Hello everyone and welcome back to Blended Librarian at Goa. I am Prayangi Matonkar and you are watching part 2 of my research matrix series. In the first part, we explored author level metrics like H-index and I-10 index which measure individual researcher impact. Today, we will move one step higher to the journal level metrics and understand how academic journals are evaluated through metrics like impact factor, site score, SJR, SNP, and JCI. By the end of this session, you will know what each metric means, how it is calculated, and how to use it wisely when choosing where to publish your research. Let us first understand what are journal metrics. Journal metrics are quantitative measures that reflect the average impact or influence of a journal's article. They are used to answer questions like, how influential is this journal in its field? Or, is this a good journal to publish in? These metrics don't measure the quality of individual papers, but rather the average citation performance of all papers published in that journal. The most widely used databases for journal metrics are, one is Web of Science, which provides impact factor, journal citation indicator, and second one is Scopus, which provides site score, SJRs, and SNP. Let us start with the most popular and oldest journal metric, the Journal Impact Factor or JIF. It was published by Eugene Garfield in the 1960s and is published annually in the Journal Citation Reports (JCR) by Clarivate Analytics. Impact factor is commonly used to evaluate the relative importance of a journal within its field. By definition, impact factor measures the average number of citations received per paper published in that journal during the previous 2 years. This is the formula of journal impact factor. Impact factor is equal to number of citations from all the sources in the current year to work published in the previous 2 years divided by total number of substantive items published in the previous 2 years. Substantive items meaning only research articles and review articles. To calculate journal impact factors, other items like editorials, letters, news articles, perspectives or commentaries are not considered. So to calculate impact factor of 2023, we have to see citations in 2023 to papers published in 2021 and 2022 divided by number of papers published in 2021 and 2022. For example, suppose a journal published 100 papers in 2021 and 2022 combined, and in 2023 those papers received 400 citations. The impact factor will be 400 divided by 100, that will be 4. So on average, each article received 4 citations in last 2 years. Remember, to find journal's impact factor, we need to visit Journal Citation Report through Web of Science or Clarivate. And this is a subscription-based database and you need to have institutional access to get this report. So what are the advantages and limitations? Advantages, impact factor has a long history and global recognition and it is simple to interpret. Limitations are, it covers only journals indexed in Web of Science and 2-year citation window is short for slow moving field like humanities. Journals published in humanities will need more time to get more citations. Now let us move to site score. Site score was introduced by Elsevier in 2016 for journals indexed in Scopus. It is similar to impact factor but with slightly different calculations. By definition, site score measures the average number of citations received per document published in a journal over last 4 years. So site score is calculated for 4 years window and impact factor for 2-year window. Site score of any journal in 2023 is equal to citations in 2020 to 2023 to documents published in 2020 to 2023 divided by number of documents published in 2020 to 2023, 4 years. So if a journal published 200 papers from 2020 to 2023 and those papers received 600 citations during the same period, then site score will be 3. Unlike impact factor, site score uses 4-year window and not 2-year window, and it includes all document types like articles, review, conference papers, etc. and it is freely accessible through Scopus source page. You don't need to have any subscription to access SiteScore. Next is advantages and limitations. SiteScore has a broader coverage than journal impact factor, and it is transparent to calculation, and it is available free online. Limitations, it include non-research documents which can lower the score, and the citation behavior differs across fields, so cross-field comparison should be cautious. Next, we will move to SCImago Journal Rank, SJR. SCImago Journal Rank was developed by researcher at University of Granada and Elsevier, and SJR measures both the number of citations received by a journal and importance or prestige of the journal where those citations come from. In other words, a citation from a high impact journal carries more weight than the citation from lesser known one. It is calculated based on the Scopus data. So this is the formula to calculate SJR. SJR is equal to average number of weighted citations received in a year divided by the number of publications in the last 3 years. So it is calculated for 3 years window. This formula is little complicated, but you don't have to calculate this. This SJR value is freely available on the Scopus source page. For example, if journal A receives 100 citations mostly from Nature and Science, and journal B receives 100 citations from local journals, both have equal citations, but journal A will have higher SJR because the quality of citation source matters, because journal A has citation from Nature and Science. That's why it will have higher SJR compared to journal B. You can view SJR values at scimagojr.com and also see SJR value on Scopus source page. Advantages are it accounts for the prestige of citation, it is freely available online, and it is good for field normalized comparison. Limitations is a complex algorithm and not easy to calculate manually and may differ from journal impact factor ranking due to data source, because it is calculated based on the Scopus data. Another Scopus based metric is SNP, that is Source Normalized Impact per Paper. It is developed by Center for Science and Technology Studies at Leiden University. SNP measures a journal's contextual citation impact by weighting citations based on the total number of citations in its subject field. This means SNP adjusts for differences in citation behavior between fields. SNP aims to provide a more accurate comparison of journal impact across different disciplines as citation practices vary significantly between fields. For instance, in medicine or physics, citations are usually high, while in humanities or education, they are lower. This is the formula to calculate SNP. SNP is equal to raw impact per paper divided by database citation potential. So raw impact per paper is number of citation divided by number of publication. To understand this, we will take one example. If two journals both have 3 citations per paper, but one is in the medicine where citations rates are high and one in education where rates are lower, the education journal will get higher SNP because it is performing well relative to its field. Like SJR and SiteScore, you can find SNP on Scopus source or CWTS journal indicators. Advantages of SNP is it is field normalized metric and it is fairer across discipline, and it is useful for cross-field comparison. Limitations are it is less intuitive. Most researchers don't know what a good SNP is, and it can vary yearly due to normalization method. Finally, let us talk about a newer metric, the Journal Citation Indicator JCI, introduced by Clarivate in 2021. JCI measures the average category normalized citation impact of articles published in a journal over the past 3 years. It is similar to SNP and it normalizes by discipline, so journals in low citation fields are not disadvantaged. To understand JCI, let us take one example. The 2020 Journal Citation Indicator will be calculated for journals that publish citable items, which include articles and review articles in the Web of Science in 2017, 18 and 19, counting all citation they received from all the documents indexed between 2017 to 2020. A JCI of 1 means the journal's article received citation exactly as expected for that field. A JCI of 1.5 means they performed 50% better than the average. And the JCI below 1 means below the world average. Like journal impact factor, JCI is also not available freely online, and to get this you need to have access to Web of Science. You can find JCI scores in the journal citation report alongside the impact factor. Advantages: it is field normalized, fair across the discipline, and it includes all journals in the Web of Science core collection, including emerging source citation index. Limitation: it is still a newer metric developed in 2021 and it is not as widely recognized as other metrics like journal impact factor or site score. Next is choosing and comparing the metrics. Each metric offers a different perspective. Impact factor, classic measures of average citation. Site score is a transparent and scopus based indicator. Then SGR weights prestige of a cited sources, and SNP adjust for field differences. And last, JCI normalizes by discipline in Web of Science. As I already said, impact factor and JCI is not available free online. You need to have institutional access to Web of Science to get these values. Other site score, SGR and SNP is available on Scopus source page. So let us go to Scopus source page to check this out. This is Scopus source page, and here there is a drop down menu. Here you can check the journal by subject area, title, publisher, ISSN. We have the title of the journal, and here you have to just type the title of the journal you are interested in. If the journal you are searching is indexed by Scopus, it will be shown in the result. So here we can see our journal. I have prepared a detailed video on how to check if journal is indexed in Scopus or not. The link is given in the description. You can check it out. So next we will click on the title to get the detail page. So here you can check the source details, the title of the journal, the year, the coverage of the journal, then publisher, ISSN, subject area. This side you can see the site score of the journal, then SJR value of the journal, and also SNP value. If you scroll down, you can check the detailed breakdown of site score and other metrics. Here you can also click on this arrow to check the site scores of different years. So that's it. As I already said, to check the site score, SGR or SNP, you don't need to have any subscription to Scopus source page. It is freely available on the internet. But only to check the journal impact factor and journal citation indicator, you need to subscribe to Web of Science. So we have reached to the end of the video, and to summarize, journal level metrics help researchers and librarians assess journals' reputation and visibility, but they are just one part of the picture. Always read the journal scope, editorial policy, and peer review standards, not just numbers. As the saying goes, not everything that counts can be counted. I sincerely acknowledge and thank all the original creators, publishers, and indexing platforms whose content, definitions, and calculation methods have been referred to in this video purely for educational and explanatory purposes. If you found this session useful, please hit the like button, share it with your research community, and subscribe to Blended Librarian at Goa. Dev Bare Guru.